To Lincoln, breaking news. We are getting an update on the officer-involved shooting outside the Capitol. Let's listen in.
Deputy sheriffs who work in that area and members of the Metro Fugitive Task Force saturated that area in an attempt to locate the suspect. The suspect was spotted near 14th and Lincoln Mall by a uniformed Lancaster County deputy sheriff and members of the task force. The deputy sheriff and deputy U.S. marshal confronted the suspect. The suspect displayed a weapon, and shots were fired by both the deputy and the U.S. marshal. A pistol was found near the suspect, who has been transported to a local hospital and is being treated as we speak for his injuries. Neither the deputy sheriff nor the deputy U.S. marshal were injured. The Lincoln Police Department is conducting the investigation into the shooting. The deputy sheriff has been placed on administrative leave pending the outcome of an administrative hearing. So that's about what we know now.
Did the suspect brandish his weapon toward the officers or fire any shots?
All I know is that the weapon was displayed. And like I said, Joe, we still don't have reports on that yet. The crime scene search is not complete. There are still officers and deputies at the scene conducting that search, so that information could change.
Why was the suspect stopped?
The vehicle was stopped for traffic violation. I don't know the particulars about that stop. Perhaps you do, but this young man was the back seat passenger in that vehicle. He was not the driver.
How many people were in the vehicle?
3.
Have you discovered a warrant in his name or anything else?
No.
I can add to that a little bit. The Lincoln police officer who stopped the vehicle recognized the individual that was in the back seat. He had tried to stop this person on a traffic stop for speeding on July 23rd. Stopped the person. The person did not have a driver's license on them at that particular point in time. The officer was going to issue a traffic citation for that particular violation, and the person then fled, and the officer did not pursue him and stuff. But he did have an address on this particular person, and so he was actually driving by the address where he thought this person might be and observed this person getting into a vehicle and then initiated a traffic stop.
Were any of the officers wearing body cameras?
No.
And we're checking to see if there's cruiser cameras. We don't know. The deputy sheriff who's driving the vehicle, I don't know if his unit was equipped with a camera or not. The picture you see here, Tariq Artis is the 18-year-old man who was shot.
You know his condition right now? Or?
I think he's in surgery right now.
Can you tell us where he was shot? Like what part of the
No.
One shot, 2 shots, 3?
He was shot. I'm not gonna be specific about that. That stuff could change. I mean, they're doing surgery now, so we'll find out from the doctors.
Does he actually live in Lincoln? Is he from Lincoln?
I think so.
I think so. We actually have him down from one of our last contacts as being transient, but I believe for all practical purposes he is from Lincoln.
What about deadly force was warranted in this situation?
That's why we conduct investigations.
A little bit more though about the investigation. What happens now in a situation like this? Sometimes this is taken very seriously. How does the police now continue with the investigation?
Basically, is what will happen, and is what investigators are doing right now. They're interviewing any witnesses that may have been out there at the scene that would have observed anything. We've identified several witnesses already that have seen him with a gun, fleeing with a gun. We've also got witnesses who have indicated that the officers were telling him to drop something, show his hands, things of that nature. So we'll continue to try to identify as many witnesses as we can.
You know, as closely as the Metro Area Fugitive Task Force works, because we all 3 have members on the task force. You know, they've been involved in deadly incidents before. So we have discussed this in the past. How do we handle these investigations when 1, 2, or 3 of our agencies are involved? And since 2 of our agencies are involved, the Lincoln Police Department is conducting the investigation. You might remember back in the spring, U.S. Marshal was involved, and we conducted the investigation. We also do an internal investigation to make sure that we don't have any policy violations, and that sort of runs parallel to the investigations being conducted by the police department now.
Can you say how long all of this lasted from the traffic stop until when he was shot?
You know, I haven't even looked at the timeline. I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
And how does the U.S. Marshal's Office get involved in this?
Well, for all practical purposes, we also have an internal affairs unit, and they will be coming to Omaha probably tomorrow, but they're in close contact with the Lincoln Police Department, getting a preliminary picture of what happened. But we'll conduct our own investigation.
It was reported that there may have been an assault weapon that was laying on the ground and picked up by an officer. Is that factually correct? Or?
Well, I mean, our deputies carry patrol rifles. If you want to characterize that as an assault rifle,
So that would have been belonging to an officer, not.
well, I don't know. I'm just saying that our people do carry patrol rifles. I think LPD officers do. I know the task force does. I'm not sure what you're referring to, but it's certainly possible.
Was the suspect's weapon loaded?
We're not going to disclose the details of that, and just wait until the investigation is more complete and can provide us with more of those details.
We just received an update regarding an officer-involved shooting in Lincoln today.